course you want Kool-Aid, you can get that as well, you know what I mean?
Is it going? Okay. My name is Beckham. I'm one of few female Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists out there. I run a water deck, and right now this is my first time on YouTube, so I'm having a nervous kind of wreck right now. And please mind my speech impediment. I really cannot pronounce my words correctly. So I'm gonna start with my monsters first, and then I'm gonna go to traps and spells. Alright, the first monster I have is Penguin Soldier. What Penguin Soldier does is you put in face down defense, which would be like this, and when your opponent's monster goes to attack your monster, you can flip it up, face up, in attack position, which would be like this, and you can destroy 2 monsters on the field, and you can send it back to the hand, and then you put it in the graveyard. Starboy, he powers up your monsters by 500 points, and decreases all fire monsters by 400 points. That's good to have on the field, because with my few low star monsters like this one, I've actually defeated one of the top duelists out there with it. His name's Dennis. Yomi Ship, what it does is when this card is destroyed by resolve battle, you can destroy that monster that was attacking, and then both cards are destroyed by are sent to the graveyard. Mad Lobster, 3-star monster. It really doesn't have an effect, but it's like you can use it at your last resort when your opponent does not have a monster on the field. And its attack is 1700, and its defense is 1000. Deep Diver, face up attack position would be when it's destroyed by battle, is sent to the graveyard. At the end of the battle phase, select 1 monster card from your deck and place on the top of your deck. So, in general, what this card does, it allows you to go through your deck once this card has been sent to the graveyard to bring up another monster. Mother Grizzly, I have 3 of them. They're really good because when they face up attack, you can activate its effect, and you can go through your deck again and special summon out 1 water monster with an attack of 1500 points or less, and put it on your field, and then it's sent to the graveyard. Kodoros, it's a water dragon, if you can't see. What it does is when Yumi is a face-up field card, and when it's out and this monster is out on the field, you can activate Yumi's effect and send 2 cards of your opponent. Send 2 cards that your opponent controls to your to the graveyard. I have 2 of them. Mermaid Knight, also its effect is used with Yumi. When Yumi is face up on the field, you can activate her effect, and what it is, you can attack twice. So you get to attack once and then attack again. And I have 3 of those. It's gonna sound like a baby, but it's Gaga Gigo. It's dragon reptile thing, whatever you want to call it. Just like the Mad Lobster, it doesn't really have an effect, but it's really good as a last resort with 1850 as an attack. I had 2 of those, by the way. I used to have 2 actually. Sea Serpent Warrior of the Darkness. Just like Mad Lobster and Gaga Gigo, really doesn't have an effect, but it does help as a last resort as well. There's 3 of them. Nightmare Penguin. Mr. D. Pyro, who had this interview with you already, he does not like this card because it also puts up amount of points as many cards on the field there is. So, say I had 4 cards on the field, each monster goes up by 400 points. So, Nightmare Penguin would go up to 1300 when it's at 900. It increases the amount of points on your card by how many cards you have on the field. Her Mermaid, there's 2 of them, and what she does is when you have her face-up attack, at the end of your standby phase, before you end your turn, you gain 800 life points. I have 2 of those. Most of the duelists hate this card, along with some others that I have in my deck. And it has 1500. Abyss Soldier, it's like a shark type thing, fish with arms. Just saying. Its effect is once per turn, by sending 1 water monster you control to your graveyard, you can destroy one of your opponent's monsters and send it to the hand. Mobus the Frost Monarch. I have 2 of them, 2400 attack and 1000 defense. As long as your opponent does not control any monsters on the field, you can activate his effect, and his effect is you can send up to 2 spell traps on the field to the graveyard. And you need 1 monster to tribute this out to the field. I have 2 of them. Levia Dragon Daedalus. You use Yumi with it, and when you have Yumi on the field with this card, you can destroy all cards on the field except this card. All cards go to the graveyard except this one. You need 1 or 2 tributes to get this monster out.
Explain to me what a tribute is.
A tribute is when one of your monsters that are on the field already, you send that to the graveyard to bring this tribute out. That's what a tribute is. And it falls. My precious shiny card, just like the last one that I just had. Ocean Dragon Lord, Neo Daedalus, however you want to pronounce it. By sending Yumi on your side of the field to the graveyard to send all cards in both players' hands on the field to the graveyard except this card. So like the last one, all cards go to the graveyard except this one. And you need 2 tributes for this monster. But with the dragon just like this that I had just before this one, you just need that one. So you just tribute this monster here to bring out this monster. I like this card because it's shiny and it's my highest monster with 2900 attack. Now here are the trap cards. They're like a purple color. And first one is Tornado Wall. With the Tornado Wall, you use Yumi, and as long as Yumi's on the field, you can activate this card, and you don't take no damage to your life points. All damage becomes 0, so I don't take no points at all. Well, no damage I should say. But the cards are removed, and I'm still not destroyed. Just the card is. So none of my life points get taken. Sakotsu Armor. You activate this when your opponent goes to attack you, and it negotiates its attack, which means it stops it, it ends the battle phase, and it's the next turn. But with trap cards, you have to wait 1 turn before you flip it to activate it. jiggy break, what is it? By discarding one card from your hand to destroy one card on the field, you don't take no battle damage at all. Changing Destiny. What this does is you can activate it on your opponent's turn, and when they go to activate you, when they go to attack you, you can activate this card, and they can either give you half the points that the monster has, or they can take that amount. So with my Monarch with 2400, if your opponent had that card, you can take either 1200 or you can give 1200. That's what the Changing Destiny does. Slip of Fortune, just like Changing Destiny, it negates the attack and it ends the battle phase for that turn. These are very good trap cards that I have, because sometimes I win with them and sometimes I don't. Hallowed Life Barrier. I can activate this card, and when I activate this card, I have to send one monster to the graveyard to stop the attack of the attacking monster. And I take no battle damage. Everything comes 0. Straight Flush. What it does is you only allow five traps and spells on the field at one time, and same for the monsters. You're allowed up to 5. And when your opponent has all 5 spell and trap cards on the field, you can activate Straight Flush, and it destroys all the spell and trap cards. So say you had a trap or a spell that stops an attack, it doesn't get used because it's now to the graveyard. So that's a good card to use. Chain War Rune, I don't know why I have it. My brother just gave it to me. But what it does is you can only activate it when a card on the field is destroyed by a card effect. And then you can select up to 2 spell or trap cards on the field and destroy them. I barely ever use them. I should say. But it comes in handy. Cemetery Bomb. What this does is you have your opponent count how many cards he or she has in their graveyard, and for each card that's in their graveyard, they take 100 life points. So say my brother, he's a good duelist, but he gets mad sometimes when he loses, but that's besides the point. Say he has like 10 cards in his cemetery, that's 1,000 life points right there. So from like 8,000, he's down to 7,000 now. And yes, you start with 8,000 life points. Trap Hole. The Trap Hole, you activate it just before your opponent summons the monster. And what they can do, really, what it does is it stops the attack of the monster. Snatch Still, a spell card. What this card does is you get to take control of your opponent's monster, and while you have control of the monster, they gain 1,000 life points at the end of your standby phase. So it's a good and a bad card. Different Dimension Capsule, we call it DDC, and what that card does is you take a card from your deck, you place it face down, and as you move for play for 2 of your turns, so at your second standby phase, you get to either take the card to your hand or send it to the graveyard. It depends if you still